Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host Sam. So after yesterday's performance that Liverpool showed, we are gonna look about what we have actually learned from the game and how some players and some things can actually become better. For starters, I really thought when Guardiola kept on talking about how dangerous Enfield was, it was just a mockery of how he's gonna destroy us in the press conference. But I think Liverpool really did prove, and the Pep Guardiola's fears were really shown in that game. So let's get into the video and let's talk about what we learned between Liverpool and Manchester City. So yesterday, Liverpool and Manchester City were at Anfield, where they battled it out, and it was one of the best games I think, we have seen in a long time for Liverpool, where they were called to action and they did show up. Salah, when he was needed after a long time of not performing so well, he showed to the world what he's capable of doing. So, what made this game so special, if I may say? What made it so special, and how were they able to stop Manchester City strike force from firing? Because we all know that Haaland is still a world class player, even though he was he was not available in yesterday's game. When I mean it like he was not available, I mean he didn't have the supply line, he didn't have the balls to at least try to cause any threat to Alisson. So Thiago, so yesterday I looked at the formation. Liverpool played surprisingly a 4-2-3-1 formation. Salah as being the number one, the number 9, where Darwin Núñez has been playing all along. Firmino being behind him, Jota on the left, and also on the other side we had Harvey Elliott. So that was a little bit of a twist because Klopp made a midfielder play as a forward. And I thought that was going to cost us, but not really, it didn't. And one thing that he made so perfectly sure was to let these three that were playing as the strike force, as the attack, as the guys who comes back to stop anything that was going to be going through Fabinho and the Thiago Alcantara. He made sure that whenever Man City were being so stylish, trying to control the ball going forward, those guys were there to stop anything that Guardiola's team was trying to create. And we saw it countless times where Firmino kept on bulldozing the defense, the midfield of Manchester City from behind. We saw it as well from Diogo Jota, especially on the Andy Robertson side. We saw it a little bit, not that much, but a little bit less also on the Harvey Elliott side, where he kept on coming back to help James Milner against Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden. So that for me was it was something that I didn't expect, because of course usually we were expecting Darwin Núñez being on top and Salah being on the other side. So it means there are more forward-minded players going there rather than at least a midfield mindset in there, and Harvey Elliott was the difference maker, and his movement also showed that this guy's a way to move on. Secondly, for the first time in this season, I saw a Liverpool defense actually switched on to do the hard work. For example, I can give you one of the points that a lot of people are going to keep talking about throughout this week. Virgil van Dijk, I saw him sliding down to stop a ball going inside the 18 area. It's something since I started watching Virgil van Dijk, especially of recently after coming from that injury. I've never seen him do that. He either stops it with his legs, or he just stops it and stands still while the ball passes him. So that tells you how switched on the team was. We actually saw him doing some of the what a crazy defense that you don't really expect to see from Virgil van Dijk. Like for example, that cross that was cleared by Man City, and it was just a matter of time for Haaland to just direct the ball into Alisson's 18 area, and he removed the ball with his head. That tells you that this team was fighting. They were putting their all. Joe Gomez, after being made a mockery, people make fun of this guy. He was all over Haaland with the speed, and also he used his height. People takes Joe Gomez's height for granted. You have to understand, people. He's not at that height of Lisandro Martinez, for example, if I have to remind you, he is that tall a little bit, and he used his height perfectly well to take out some of the goals and crosses that were coming inside that Man City was delivering. Because if you go look at that game, Man City had a lot of corner kicks, and it was because of Virgil van Dijk and Gomez, while most of the City players did not get at the end of those crosses. So that tells you how much Klopp has worked on into this defense to try to work and do the heavy lifting and stop lethal strikers from actually exposing them. Also, on the right side, of course, we are used to Trent Alexander-Arnold, but because of the injury, it was James Milner who was playing there. People made fun of Milner, saying that his age, everything won't keep up, but the man worked so hard, and he made Foden looked like a regular. And I don't know when was the last time people actually said that where Foden was meant to look like a regular player in a 90-minute game with a 37-year-old man. That tells you how much Klopp was so much demanding of the defense of Liverpool, and I think they really showed it up and they really played so well. Now coming back in the midfield, it doesn't matter what we do at the back if the midfield firing was still active. What I'm talking about, if Kevin De Bruyne was still that active to cause problems, there was nothing Haaland was always going to get at the end of any crosses or any passes from Kevin De Bruyne, because Kevin De Bruyne always finds people anyway with his crosses. But the interesting part about this was this: Thiago Alcantara did the dirty work on Kevin De Bruyne, alongside with Andy Robertson as well. That we literally saw no Kevin De Bruyne for almost 89 minutes of the game. Only 10 minutes or less where we actually saw him doing something, but 90% of the game he was really unavailable. We tried to look for him, we could not find him. And we saw Liverpool playing not a highline for the first time, people. They were playing a regular defense and at the same time hitting Manchester City on the counter attack. I think that was also one of the difference that we saw. Usually City always kick those balls at the back of the highline and hurt Liverpool. But Liverpool, because they were not playing a highline, which meant City had to try by all means to come at them and try to break them down because they were bad deep into their defense. That also made it so hard, because we cannot deny that there is talent when it comes to the back line of Liverpool, and because they were just all over there and they were the back, they stopped Man City from producing anything meaningful in the game. And that for me was the difference that made Klopp tactics work so well against a Guardiola team, and whatever that Pep Guardiola tried could not really work. If Liverpool were really clinical, to be honest, this day the strike force, they should have won this game by 4-0, and if some decisions were done so perfectly well, they would have hurt Man City even more and more. But that didn't happen, and I, for example, won't be crying about it. I'll move on and actually be grateful over the performance of today. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What did you think of the performance of Liverpool? And can they build on from this? And what else can they do as we go forward? Click the like button, subscribe to the Connect, show your love and support. That is always important. I'm out, people. I'll be back again with another video where we are going to be talking about the big match that is coming, where Tottenham Hotspur is going against... Is that going against? Is it Chelsea? I need to check that. I need to be honest. But click here to watch my big match review of El Clasico, where Xavi's starting 11 lost it against a perfect Real Madrid with, of course, Federico. What's the kid name? Valverde. He's just amazing. And also, click here to watch my big match preview reviews or in a playlist format. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Sam, and this has been the Football Connect. I'm out. Peace. Be blessed.